It just got very real as we have multiple massive Spurs updates, one concerning Devin Vassell and a recent report about the Spurs trade opportunities this offseason and how Devin Vassell is very much still on the market with the emergence of Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant. He's become a lot more expendable. We got to dive into that, plus a huge update on Victor Wembanyama's health that has us all absolutely ecstatic. We got to break down these big reports and much more coming up on this episode of Spurs Digest. But guys, before we get into the video, just wanted to say that we are so close to 9,000 subscribers, less than 150 away. You guys know we've been going for 10K for the start of next season. You guys have been supporting like crazy, and if you want to show us some love, hit that free subscribe button down below. Get us to 9,000. Some huge milestones coming, Keenan. You know what better way to celebrate than talking about Victor Wembanyama? Maxime Aubin, a French reporter who's been covering Wemby, said, breaking today via L'Equipe, Victor Wembanyama has announced he's officially recovered from the blood clot in his shoulder. And we'll go straight to the Wemby quote here. There it is, actually. I'm officially cleared to return. It just happened. I got the green light from the Spurs medical staff just a few hours ago on last Friday. Phew, I'll finally be able to play a bit of basketball again. Keenan, this is just such good news. I mean, we've been waiting for this for so long. We know we have Eurobasket coming up. Not sure yet if he's going to play. I believe actually it's in the article Maxime Aubin wrote, so go check it out. But yeah, just some unbelievable news. We had the great news that Dylan Harper, Carter Bryant, Summer League is rolling. Just to get hit with this as well. I mean, I don't know if I could be any happier right now.
No, Spurs basketball is at like an all-time high for like the past 7 years. Of course, obviously 1 decade ago and things like that. But no, it's just the fact that you've got Victor Wembanyama is officially back and ready to go. And you figured he was going to be, but it's one thing to think it in the back of your mind. It's another thing to be like, yes, he is here. He is ready to go. And it's only July. So like that's 24 and 11, 4 blocks. That was the guy who is still not even 90% of the player that he could be. Like, he has so much more to grow, and he's already a top 10 player in the game today. You just can't be more excited for what the future holds with this man right here. And his health is number one, and we just got a green mark that his health is 100%.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
look, he's out there playing chess, he's out there becoming a monk, he's doing side quests, he's in Japan, he's in China, he's all over the place doing these side quests. Now he comes back, and like you said, the big point there is, guys, it's only July. It's July 14th as of the recording of this video, and he got cleared back on Friday, which would have been, what, the 11th? So, like, he's got a couple of full months now to prepare for next season. I remember at the start of this, Keenan, when we heard the blood clot stuff, we didn't know how long it would be. Spurs doctors were adamant that, like, hey, this is not something that's going to last into next season. It'll just be this year. And yeah, it took him a couple months to fully get cleared, but to be able to have it this early, to me, is such a good sign. Like, we didn't have to wait till the last minute to before next season. It's done now, and we're going to start seeing videos surfacing of Wemby working out, Keenan. I think that's the next big thing that I'm waiting to see on my timeline.
Yeah. I am very excited about it as well. And again, the Eurobasket, it's up in the air. We don't fully know. The article, I believe, highlights it, but if he is playing in that, that means he's going to get multiple reps in prior to the season too, which is only going to be better for us. But we're going to get to see Wemby working out, shooting a basketball again. It's going to be a beautiful sight.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave your love for Wemby down below. So excited to see him back in action. But, transitioning to this team, so we know Wemby coming back is going to be so big for the Spurs heading into this next season with high expectations. Not saying championship expectations or anything, but when Wemby's on your roster, you don't really know. But what we do know is the Spurs have done a lot of reconstruction. And again, we take a look at this roster here. We got Kornet, we got Olynyk, we drafted Harper, we got Carter Bryant in the draft as well. We have lots of additions. While losing some players, I think this team is no doubt looking better than it was last year, especially when you take into account that a lot of our young players statistically are going to get better as they get more experience in the league, like a Sochan, like a Castle. So this team is looking great, Keenan, but there's been a lot of talk still about trades to come, and Jake Fisher recently on a YouTube live stream that I'll link down below said just like they went out and flipped some guys for Kelly Olynyk, they are very willing to move off of Harrison Barnes and Keldon Johnson, and I believe they are also open to moving Devin Vassell. They clearly want to keep getting better. So this is the thing, like, it's getting real. Devin Vassell, I know, Keenan, we've talked a lot about how he has become expendable with the way the Spurs have built their roster, and I don't want to dive too much into why, because I think we've talked about that a lot, and feel free to watch lots of our other videos on Vassell if you want to get that info. But like Sean McKenna points out in this Air Alamo article that I'll also link, dangling a player like Devin Vassell is sure to churn the waters for teams looking for a young, cost-effective shooter. The perk to San Antonio is that teams must pay up if they want a player like that, and the return for the team should be substantial. The problem is, Keenan, a cost-effective shooter is kind of what San Antonio needs, and I know Devin Vassell's been great from the corner three. San Antonio, we need a bit more reliable, high volume 3-point shooting. And while Vassell is great at his contract, $27 million, it's going to be worth its value. He's not really that at this point. I think he could get there. What are your thoughts on, if we're dangling Devin Vassell, what kind of player are you even looking to get back? Because as much as we need shooting, I don't know if there's another high profile shooter that would be worth trading Devin Vassell for. I mean, at least not one that I've heard on the market recently.
Yes, it's gonna be guys that we've kind of talked about already a little bit, but like the Herb Jones and Trey Murphys are the perfect guys. Herb Jones just signed, I believe, a 3 year,
Yeah.
$66 million deal to re-up himself in New Orleans, or if not roughly around there, which means contractually now he would be able to be moved for that piece. I understand that they want him and they have that idea of long-term future, but if you can upgrade and get a guy like Devin Vassell to fill in at the guard, because Trey Murphy and Herb Jones kind of not play the same position, but they kind of can do similar things on the floor, even though they are a little bit different. The thing with Devin Vassell is he is a good piece, and people see the 16 a game, and that was on a down year. He can get you to 20, 22, 23, even depending if you put him in the right situation. There are teams out there that are going to see, oh, Keldon Johnson, Harrison Barnes, or Devin Vassell are on the market. Absolutely. Let's go get Harrison Barnes, maybe a veteran guy for a team, and we can get somebody at the wing position who is 6'8" and can shoot. And I promise you that the Spurs are seeing what Carter Bryant has been doing in Summer League, and they're looking to themselves like, this guy might be a year or two away. Like that defensively, this man is a demon, and his 3-point shot, the mechanics look clean. You get him to a position where he can actually play 18, 20 minutes a game here in a couple years, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, it's going to be very scary. And I do think that like watching these guys play in Summer League has sort of affected the Spurs' plans. But where I'm a little confused about this, Keenan. I want to get your thoughts and the fans down below. Is like what we're hearing from Jake Fisher here, just to bring this back. Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell. Harrison Barnes was straight up our best shooter last year, right? Devin Vassell, we know when he's going good, especially from the corners. I know I always highlight that, but he's a good shooter in general, right? He's a solid shooter. Again, not that high volume, high efficiency 3-point shooting guy. He's not going to shoot 43% for you from three, but he's going to shoot the mid well, and he's going to be a solid 3-point shooter. And Keldon Johnson, I mean, he's had his ups and downs. He's had some good years, some not so good years. I don't know if I consider him a reliable shooter, but like, when I look at this roster, like, to me, Harrison Barnes is one of these guys that, as much as the Spurs are willing to part ways with him, I almost am not yet, unless we have a clear guy that can succeed him, because that shooting that he brought last year, I don't know if fans are sleeping on it or what, but, like, not having a guy like Barnes who can just reliably shoot 40%-ish from three on decent volume is going to be tough. Wemby's going to get better, and I know we have Kelly Olynyk who can come in and also shoot 40% from three, but does that concern you at all when you look at guys like, Fox, not bad, Harper, we don't really know, Keldon Johnson, ups and downs, Carter Bryant, not yet, maybe soon, Champagnie, good, but is prone to big cold stretches. To me, that 3-point consistency is still our biggest hole, if you can pick a biggest hole in this team, because our defense is short up now. Like, I don't know, like, to me, losing out on a guy like Harrison Barnes, unless we're getting some guy that can come in and shoot right along with him, I don't know, I'm not too keen on it personally.
I don't love losing Harrison Barnes. He shot about 43% from three last year, roughly on four attempts a game. So like he was basically making 2 out of every 4 threes last year. And that kind of consistency from the outside is something you want. And now that we're not going to get Chris Paul back, we need a veteran, like a true veteran. And that guy is a champion. He has been around the league in multiple spots. So you're getting a guy and keeping Harrison Barnes would be the thing. The guys that I would look for, Devin Vassell, if you have the right package, you don't just throw him out there for nothing, because he is a super talented guard and he can work in the second or first unit depending on how we have him come in, depending to 28 to 30 minutes a game-ish. But Keldon Johnson would be the guy, that and maybe a draft pick or two. Those Atlanta picks aren't looking as great now because they have actually made good moves in the offseason. So if you could offload that plus a Keldon Johnson to maybe get a guy who can truly shoot on the outside, like a 3-and-D level guy, because that other team can take a guy who can score a little bit, that would be where I go. But Harrison Barnes, truly, I like his veteran leadership, either off the bench or even if he needs to start and you move Sochan to the bench at some point. Like, I like to keep Harrison Barnes, and I would like to keep him, truly. I think if anyone was to get him, it'd be a championship contender, and he would truly benefit their championship aspirations.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he brings a ton of value, and like, I don't know, there's still some moves yet to be made. I don't know if I want to say our summer's done yet, because you mentioned 3-and-D. Carter Bryant, I think, can be that, but again, on offense, I think we just need to see a bit more
Mhm.
from him. But then again, like, he had
Yeah.
the ball in his hands a lot more in summer league than he would in the NBA, right? He's not going
Yes.
to have to create in the NBA. So watching him as a pure off-ball movement slashing threat who can spot up and hit the open three that his teammates are creating for him, and that's his only job, I think you could actually see him being quite serviceable on offense in year one if he can just make
Absolutely.
his three that looks pretty consistent anyway, even if the stats don't back it up. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below, guys. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of question marks still around the Spurs roster, but some great news with Wemby. Some trades still may be coming. We're here to bring you all the updates, but that'll do it for this episode of Spurs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, but most importantly, guys, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to hit 9,000. You guys have been supporting like crazy. Thank you so much for tuning in every single day. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Keenan Warner. We'll catch you on the next one.